Hey dads, welcome to Father Friend, a podcast for dads who want to lean in, lead well, and love big. I'm Dr. Mike Ayers. My 16-year-old daughter and I attended an amazing parent-child adventure ranch in Northern California called JH Ranch. I had taken my two sons separately in prior years, and she was looking forward to the event. I was excited about spending an entire week with just me and her engaging in excursions like hiking and rafting and ropes courses, coupled with opportunities for spiritual growth and relationship building. The high point of our week was a one-on-one conversation on the final day, part of a planned talk for dads and daughters. This discussion was the culmination from other talks we had had throughout the week about various topics, such as dating, sex, marriage, and the evolving dynamics of our relationship as she transitioned into young adulthood. I bring all this up because in that final conversation, my daughter confessed to me a common struggle among teenage girls. She told me that she felt she was not pretty. I was shocked and saddened. You should know that on a sheer external level, my daughter was and is a beautiful young woman. She's also internally amazingly beautiful, full of character, honesty, life, laughter, and kindness, possessing a heart to serve and help others, smart, a girl of courage, virtue, and authentic faith in God. Yet despite years of affirmations from her mother and me, and even from peers, she felt this way about herself at the age of 16. In that moment, I affirmed and reaffirmed how I see her as beautiful, and we walked through why she might feel as she did. We got through the discussion, and in the end, she felt reassured. I walked away, though, saddened that my little girl could feel this way about herself, and wondered how I had possibly failed to build her up as a dad should. Reflecting on this experience, I realized that teenage girls, irrespective of their inherent beauty, grapple with insecurity about external looks. Our society bombards them with inaccurate and unrealistic standards of beauty. On average, studies show that teenage girls by far experience higher stress, more self-doubt, and more critical body image than teenage boys. These facts are not hard to grasp when you see covers of teen magazines, browse social media, or consider pressure our daughters face from both male and female peers. All this serves as a poignant reminder for fathers to take proactive steps in protecting their daughters from surrendering to such doubts. While it's impossible to shield girls away entirely from societal pressures, the security and affirmation they receive from their fathers play a crucial role in helping them overcome distorted cultural messages that constantly confront them. Dads, here are some ways you can help your daughter seek true beauty. 1. Take your role as protector seriously and early. Cultural messages reach our children at very young ages, making it crucial to start protecting them from unrealistic expectations early on. Be intentional about your role as a protector, as your indifference can embed myths about beauty. Monitor and manage the information reaching your child, interpreting it for them as appropriate for their age. Engage in open conversations about cultural messages, even if it feels awkward or challenging. When you see a commercial or watch a movie, discuss the messages they're sending and help interpret those for your daughter. Avoid extremes, neither isolating your child from all cultural realities, nor allowing any and all messages to reach them regardless of age. 2, resist expectations for your children to fit in. Some parents inadvertently place pressure on their children to conform to superficial standards of beauty. Avoid forcing your daughter to conform to societal norms, date early, wear makeup early, or strive for peer approval. Allow your child to be a child and your teen a teen. Resist the temptation of sophisticating children too early, and refrain from embedding unrealistic beauty standards by obsessing on external factors, hair, makeup, clothing, social approval, or dating. Also, it's important for you to mandate modesty in her attire. 3, teach her about character and inner beauty. At the ages of 5 through 8, my daughter used to love to dress up. She would put on dresses, high heels, tiaras, and plastic jewelry and seek attention. This was natural for a little girl and inherently not a bad thing. I told her how pretty she was and how I admired her sweet little outfits. But I also saw an opportunity to teach her about inner beauty. I would say to her things like this: "Sweetie, does the dress make you pretty or do you make the dress pretty? She would respond, I make the dress pretty. That's right, I would say. Then I would say things like, you know why I think you're beautiful? I think you're beautiful because you're kind. You like to share and do nice things for others. You love your mommy and daddy and brothers. You're sweet, you're smart, you tell the truth, and you work hard at things. Those are the reasons you're pretty to me. Likewise, emphasize that your daughter's internal qualities, kindness, sharing, love for family, faith in God, are what make her truly beautiful. Shift the focus from external traits to internal character. Prioritize these dimensions of true love and beauty over external attributes like clothing, hair, and makeup, as well as above physique, sports, or athleticism. Affirm your child's authentic qualities consistently and lovingly. Fourth, as a father and man, affirm your daughter for the right reasons. What you see and pay attention to as a dad is what your daughter will believe is important. So reflect on your own view of beauty. What is important to you as a man? What you see and pay attention to as a dad is what your daughter will come to believe is important. So ask yourself honestly, what do you notice first? What do you compliment first? What matters to you as a man when you think about a woman's worth? Whether you realize it or not, your daughter is watching you. She sees how you treat her mother. She listens to the comments you make about other women at church, on TV, in public. She notices if you praise her looks more than her character. Over time, what you affirm will become what she internalizes. That's why it's essential to reflect on your own definition of beauty. Does it come from the world or from the Word? One of my favorite verses from the Old Testament sets the standard for how to view real beauty. In Proverbs 31:30, it says, "Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised." The culture will constantly tell her that beauty is about perfection, attention, and validation. But you have the power to point her to a different truth, that beauty is found in integrity, courage, compassion, and a heart that honors God. You're building in her a sense of value that no mirror or Instagram filter can compete with. Don't just tell your daughter she's beautiful. Show her what beauty means. And then live it out in how you see women, how you honor your wife, and how you walk in purity and integrity as a man. And the final point I want to make is teach your teenage daughter that any boy who wants her body more than her heart is to be discarded. Now that might sound blunt, but she needs to know her worth. She needs to know that any guy who's more interested in what's on the outside than who she is on the inside does not deserve her time, her trust, or her attention. Tell her exactly these things. She's not an accessory to some boy's ego or appetite. She's a daughter of God, made in His image, and worthy of love that honors and protects. So teach, expect, and inspire her to save sex for marriage. She deserves commitment, not to be used. And if you instill in her this vision, this itself elevates her view of self, her view of her own beauty and worth, and her view of her body. I've got a podcast episode called Talking to Your Teen Son About Sex. I'm going to be doing one for daughters too, but much of that podcast applies here. I encourage you to listen to it. In conclusion, it's true. The Bible is right once again. External attraction fades with time. So do your best to make sure your daughter is loved for the right reasons. Remind her what you attract someone with is what you must keep them with. Keeping a man based solely upon physical attraction is impossible and leads to disaster. So what will last for a lifetime? The writer of Proverbs 31 says it, inner beauty and character. If you find these two things attractive in her, she will find them attractive in herself. She will expect it from other boys. It starts with you as a man and as her dad. Thanks for listening today. I'm Dr. Mike Ayers. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with other dads. I'd love to hear from you. Email me at mikea@fatherfriend.net with comments, questions, and your biggest takeaways. For more tools, resources, and real talk on fatherhood, visit fatherfriend.net or follow on social media @ThinkingDads. See you next time.